Hello, this is Malorian, and we're now going to our third battle report from the birthday invitational tournament I went to, and I mean, we're doing awesome to this point. So far, my Orcs have 2 massacre wins, and it's going awesome. Going into this last game, this game is going to be a little bit crazy. Now, the way it works is that there's going to be this token that starts in the middle of the board. Then every player turn, it's going to scatter around 2d6 a random direction, and what it really means is that during the magic phase, if you're within 6 inches of this with a wizard, you roll a dice. And some of the time you'll lose a power dice, sometimes you'll gain one, so it's kind of wacky that way. But at the end of the magic phase, it explodes, and half the time you're going to lose d6 wounds for every unit that's within this range of 2d6. So it's scary to be around, but the other thing is at the end of the game, whoever has the closest unit that has at least 5 models, 3 if it's 40 mil or bigger, controls the token and gets an extra 500 points. So it's kind of good to be close, kind of not. Really, for my part, I'd rather just take off. But one of the things you have to kind of watch for is also random game length, basically, where at the end of turn 5 on a, what is it, a 5 plus the game ends, it kind of takes it from 40k. So kind of interesting, see how that goes. But the thing that's kind of really psyched for is my opponents. Because what I have here is I have the one guy that I had the shot hammer game against and all this stuff. That's the guy I ripped off the shirt for and all these things. So I know that was going to be fun. Also up against Matthew Reesons. He has his own channel. He does tons of the Vampire Count battle reports. And just for this one now, he's kind of moved on to Lizardmen. So he's given them a try. But one of the things that's a little bit of a worry here is that whereas the one army there is going to be Tomb Kings, and that one's going to be okay. It's what can you do with Tomb Kings in such a small size, right? The other one, the Lizardman one, has a freaking life slan in it, and 2 salamanders, and a big huge Hortosaurus. So I don't know so much about the nice list, but hey, it's Matthew Reeson. I'm sure he'll mess up somewhere. No. Either way, it's going to be a fun game. My opponent for this one is going to be Warriors of Chaos. So. And really, his list was really kind of scaled back. We'll go through it once we see it, but let's just say we're using stuff like Tzinch Magic here. So it's one of these things like, haha, I zap you and give you a regen and all this stuff. So it's going to be a rough game, but hey, if nothing else, I've already got 2 wins. So anything can happen here, and I'm happy. So let's see what happens. So looking at the first picture here, this is kind of like the center part of the Tomb Kings, but I guess this guy painted this whole army up in just a couple of weeks. This is a guy where every army he makes looks amazing. So, I mean, Tomb Kings, I mean, some say it's an easier one to paint, but still, he has all the details here. He's not even done yet, and it's just, I mean, I wish I could be pumping out armies as fast as this guy does. Otherwise, over here is Matthew Reeson and his stuff. Now, he's starting to repaint them here. He actually got the army for free for doing some help from his brother there. But so much he's just pretty much done. Like, I think he did the Slan and the Skinks you can see that are pale. I don't think any of the rest is his. But, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a scary force to go up against. So looking on my side here, and you can see the little token on the left, this is the same board I played on for game 1, but there's going to be one critical difference in that this graveyard that we used as a building for the first game is now impassable for the second game. So we had to kind of go back and forth for deployment for this one. But my idea is, once I saw the Tomb Kings deploying over here, is my idea is to try and like to blitz them, get to the Hierophant and kill it, and then kind of sweep around and really hope that we can just keep this land out of the fight. So I got my spearmen, my bowmen, who have to now go really tight to try and get around this impassable here. So that's going to be kind of a pain, especially because I'm basically like having to pick up models because I have no movement tray that's the right size now. Super Orc, he doesn't care about the impassable because he can fly right over. And then you got my biggins in the center, they're ready to fight whatever, right? The skeletons will come up, I'll crush them. I don't care about the Colossus or even the Saurus. I'll fight any of that stuff. So they're just up there ready to fight. Now, left to right for them, what I'm facing is he has 3 chariots. There's a salamander, a scullopult, 3 pterodons. He's going to be putting the riders back on. They're just off for right now. But then he has a big unit of archers, and in there he has his hierophant. Then a big unit of skeletons. In there is his prince. He has another salamander behind there. Then there is the Colossus I talked about, 2 units of skinks, and the big unit of Saurus there. My opponent, what he has is a unit of dogs. He has his, I believe it's a BSB that's going to be leading the Tzin's warriors there with shields. Then he has some Khorne warriors with halberds and a chariot and the Gore Beast chariot. And then he also has his level 4, that's a Lord Tzinch mounted on there. And like I said, Lord Tzinch isn't one of the best lores. Maybe it would have been better if he had had a lot more skinks who have been skirmishing and running around and stuff. But yeah, I mean, really what I'm hoping from this part here is that if he can just threaten the Slann enough that he stays away, that would be awesome. And then if I can just deal with the Tomb Kings, then hey, we pull out ahead, right? One of the things that was unfortunate is that we didn't really look at the army, and whereas the level 4 could have easily been deployed over there, he wasn't, and now we got these 5 chameleons in our back, so that was a little bit silly on our part. So he gets first turn, and this really sucked, where the chameleons come in, they shoot, they don't really do anything, but the main thing is that they shoot the Scullopult, it lands in a Gorbeast chariot, kills it, panics the chariot and the mage. So luckily the mage is on the board by like a hair, and the chariot went across all the lines, and it'll be over on my side of the board now. This was just, we did not need this first turn. Otherwise, the board looks like this. You can see the chariot there that's right there in the middle. The skeletons move up. Pretty much the whole line moves up. He was too far to really do any other shooting. His magic. Now, the magic thing's going to be interesting. He did not get dwellers. So normally what I do is against a Slann with the Lore Life is you would try and really watch out for the Throne of Vines or whatever, because then he can just 6 dice dwellers. Well, there's no dwellers, so we're now just going to be trying to watch anything else. Right now he has a toughness spell up on the skeletons. Don't really worry about that. He has Throne, and really what we're going to do in our turn, because our magic's kind of piddly anyway, is just to spell Throne on our turn. Otherwise, you can see his archer shot into my savages, and look at that, he killed 7 of them. He got the spell off, so he got to shoot twice, but still, because he moved, that's only 19 times 2 shots, and with 5s to hit and 5s to wound, yeah, this is starting to hurt my center already. So we get first turn, and what I'm doing here is, I mean, I can't hold back, right? I got to make things happen. So Super Orc already ate a chariot charge in the first one, the second game. Now he's looking to take on a triple chariot charge, and really, I mean, these are weaker chariots, so I really am not too worried about this. It could go bad, but I need this to happen. Otherwise, my units are just kind of moving up. Here in the middle, same thing, just a general advance. One of the things I had to really make sure wouldn't happen is that the Bone Giant, the Colossus, would go into my savages, so the dogs are up there to redirect, and luckily the token's helping us out, because it went and did its little explode thing, and took some wounds off the Bone Giant. So, hey, thanks, buddy. Otherwise, over here, the mage turns around, and it's going to be shooting some of its magic missiles at the skinks over here and taking care of them, so that's great. And then in the end here, yeah, here he goes. He's going to be charging into me with the chariots. The Scullopult shoots at us and explodes. It misfires and explodes. That's great. So that's a unit we won't have to worry about. Otherwise, yeah, this was better than planned. So the salamander here killed a few of my savages. I don't care about that. The biggest thing I'm worried about is what Matt Reeson is setting up is a double fleet to really slow me down. So that sucks. But the good news is that, yeah, the chariots came in. They did nothing to me thanks to a reroll. And then attacking back, I hit and wounded with everything. So I just slammed 2 chariots together. Other one crumbles. Fantastic. I now reformed, I can charge whatever I want. So great news there. Plus, I believe he's already missing some skeletons because he had miscast and exploded some of his guys. So that's not too bad. The one thing that is bad here is that these skeletons are in my grill. The bone giant had killed the wolves and ran up. And the thing is right now is that, okay, let's go over this. Like I said, the whole tactic was to let him go off with his thrown vines and then let him do his whatever. What he kept on doing over and over again is irresistible forcing the toughness spell so we wouldn't have a chance to stop it. And then, of course, a throne of vines and a 2+ he's fine. So this really kind of backfired. But right now, these skeletons have it's either a 5+ ward or +1 attack, and they're also toughness 7. So they're freaking tough. But look at this. I lost another 7 orcs. So I can't stand back. I got to make things happen, whether he's buffed or not. And look what's happening to us on the right side. Shooting at our Khorne warriors. Look at that. He's already down to 3 Khorne warriors. So, yeah, shooting is definitely doing more than it should. If you see the little zombie standing in front of us, that's his skink priest because he forgot to bring it. But, yeah, just not looking so good for Team Evil so far. So on our turn, I do a whole bunch of charges here, and really what it ends up doing is I have both the Salamander and the Pterodons fleeing. That really messes up, though, so now my units on the left are farther back, and so, yeah, that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. Super Orc, though, flies into the flank of the archers and hoping to really just grind them down and kill them. And you can also see there, I charged in my savages because I just need something to happen because I just keep on losing guys. Over here, he charged into the Bone Giant with both these units. We just need to get them gone. Before that, though, he charged the Skink Priest to make it flee. And, I mean, it's obviously going to rally and it'll be blocking the source. So that's great. Otherwise, here on the left, you know, I killed some skeletons. This was also my wall to make more crumble. He then reforms to face me, and I was really surprised he reformed to face me because then I could move over and just hit his Hierophant. But he did it in a smart way here so that because of the impassable building, I can't actually get over to the Hierophant. In the main combat there with my savages, yeah, this was just a dumb combat. I just got my butt kicked. I did not think about how he was going to be weapon skill 5 because of the prince. And I just lost combat. I think I lost by 2 in the end. And then I held, at least luckily. But I lost my frenzy now. And one of the things I was kicking for myself after is like, I charged in because I was tired of being shot. Well, I'm not going to be shot anymore. The Scullipulse is gone and the archers are tied up. So really, if I was thinking, I shouldn't have made this charge. But hey, I did it now. And yeah, I mean, Super Orc, this is what I'm going to show again with the Hierophant. It's being sneaky because I can't move over to fight it. But as long as I do a few wounds here, there's no banner. I'm not worried about combat res. I should be able just to grind right through this unit. Oh god, on this fight here I thought this was going to be wonderful, but yeah, we just can't roll a single 6 to wound this guy, and he just goes and thunder stomps and kills all the guys on the flank. I think we win by 1, but he's a construct and doesn't care, so all of a sudden this combat's not looking so great. And this is just a little picture here of the Slan, because in his next magic phase, he rolls a ton of dice. I'm like, oh my god, we're going to eat this so bad. First thing he does, he tries to do Throne of Vines on 2 dice, rolls like double 1s. So much for the Slan being the master of magic. Otherwise, though, it doesn't seem like he really needs it. He goes and he breaks my savages. They're running off, so that's horrible. Actually, the archers beat me. If you remember how many guys were there before, I killed almost next to nothing. I think I killed just 1 or 2 guys, and because of that, he kept his rank bonus. Because of that, he beat me by musician. And so now Super Orc is lost. He lost his frenzy, and it's just, it's not going well for Team Orc. Otherwise, over here, some shooting into the level 4 does a wound, but hey, he has 2 more. And then over here, what's going on is that I charged the Pterodons. They're taken off. I'm now right up here in his face. The Spearmen are taking a long time to get around, but I really need to get these guys here into the archers so that they can all swing this around. But it's going to take a while for them to get there. Otherwise, it looks like this. The warriors were beaten up. They broke. He also killed the one BSB guy there, so that's horrible. And the chariot had even charged in this turn. But again, we just can't roll those bloody 6s. He wins combat. At least the chariot held. But yeah, it's just going downhill. The level 4 had charged into combat just to kind of stay alive, so that's nice. But yeah, this game is just looking so bad. Okay, so over here now it's more down to mop up. The skeletons, now that he's chased my savages off the board, have gone into the flank of the chariot here. And what he did with a whole bunch of charges from other stuff is kind of triple charge, I think it was, to knock the warriors right off the board so they can't even rally. So yeah, this flank is going to be done really quick. Otherwise, over here, he now has toughness 7 skeletons again. And even though I've killed the guy, so he's down to 1 combat res, it's going to be really hard for Super Orc with his now only 5 attacks to really do anything. Otherwise, what's going on here is, yeah, I lost. And so Super Orc has taken off, and he's now into the flank of my Orc archers. And so, yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. Over here, the chariot's destroyed. He also did a wound to the level 4 in combat, just to be insulting. The Slan has reformed around to try and get over to the token, to try and get those points as well. Over here on our turn, yeah, I mean, the Savages had held, Savage or Super Orc had rallied, his Pterodons are back here and rallied, but yeah, I mean, my Orcs with Spears just can't get into the fight. I can't beat these toughness 7 skeletons, and whereas I thought I was going to be just crushing this flank, I'm just going nowhere. Over here, yeah, the Bone Giant's raided. Now that the Chariot's gone, he's just going to be charging into this mage, and yeah, that won't be pretty. Over here, oh god. Okay, so he comes over here, drops rocks on me, does a wound to me. Then after that, he beats my Savage Orc archers. They break from combat. They get away. He's now into my spear savages, but again, he's still toughness 7 because, hey, you know, we let dwellers go through, or sorry, the Throne of Vine to go through so we can stop the toughness spell, and he'll double 6 it. And then that also panics Super Orc, so he has to flee over the Pterodons, and he fails his dangerous terrain. So not a very good game for Super Orc so far. Otherwise, here comes a Bone Giant, and that's going to be the end of the Warriors. And over here, I mean, just for fun, I go and I make a challenge with my Savage Big Boss, or not Big Boss, Champ from the unit, whatever it's called. But yeah, he just steps out. Even the Hierophant was enough to kill me because, yeah, toughness 7 Hierophants, I'm not going to touch that. But hey, at least it was a fun little thing to do. And then otherwise, yeah, the spears were able to hold, and even though I wasn't able to do very much, Super Orc rallies, my Savage archers rally, and at this point, like, there's just a bundle of guys. I really wish I would have brought an extra movement tray just in case this would have happened, but yeah, they're just a bundle of dudes at this point. Over here, the level 4 is killed, like you would guess. And then pretty much this was the end of turn 5. The game ends, and even though the token had killed a bunch of these Saurus here, yeah, he's the closest, so he controls the token as well, just to add a little bit of, you know, insult to injury at the very end. So there you go, a big loss for the Orcs and Goblins and the Warriors of Chaos. But, you know, overall, even though I could say, like, oh, Matthew Reason, you cheesy bastards for taking the lower life slant and all this stuff, you know what? That really played kind of a more... It did play a big part, but it wasn't really the reason why the battle went down the way it did. Really what happened here was some big tactical mistakes on my part. One of the things I did wrong here is when I charged in the Savages. I mean, I was just so amazed and I guess dumbfounded from the amount of damage he was doing to me with, even when he was getting the double shots off the 2 times in a row, killing 7 orcs each time. I'm pretty sure that's above the numbers. I'd have to do the math, but still really seems a whole bunch there. So I think that part of it makes it like, you know, charge in. When even though it was stupid, because why would I charge in when he's toughness 7 for sure, when I'm just charging in the flank with the Savage, you know, Super Orc anyway, to tie up the archers. I could just sat there and waited till they lost the augment, and then if he wants to charge me next turn, he'd be in a tough spot where he needs to cast it. Now, granted, man, this was he must have miscast 3 times where he just, you know, like I said, we let him get off throne, then he's going for the toughness, boom, it'll be double 6. It's just, oh, what can you do, right? It's just one of those things where tactically, I think we played it right because where he had the +4, we did not have a scroll or anything, and all the extra dice. We kind of have to let throne go through and hope to stop the other stuff. And the thing is, too, it wasn't like he was 6 dicing it. He was just throwing like 3 or 4 dice and still irresistible force. We just had no chance to stop these things. So that was unfortunate. I think maybe I misplayed the left flank as well, where I really thought those 2 units could speed around. This is where Matthew Reeson really, shut me down, because whereas Tomb Kings can't do this, and you can just run into them and charge them and all this stuff, once you get all those double fleas in, my 2 medium-sized blocks there just started stumbling up and just couldn't do anything. In the end, I mean, the one was just way out on the flank. Probably in that one turn when I was trying to scare away the Pterodons and the Salamanders, I should have just done it with the archers and then really just marched the spears around to really get that distance. But, looking back, hindsight's 2020 and all this stuff. Also, I mean, man, the way that we're losing these things with the bone giants and stuff like that, it's just, I really thought the right flank would have gone better than it did. And really, it's all across the board. We just got smashed. But hey, that's just the way it happens. It was still a fun game. We're all laughing all the way through. It'll be interesting to see it on Matthew Reeson's side to see how. Well, I guess I already know what he's going to say because he did the video as well as right there. But, it's always great to get these battle reports from both sides. And I'll have to get my revenge sometime. I think actually this is our first time ever playing, me and Matthew Reeson. So we'll have to get another one sometime. But anyway, there you go. And there's going to be another video coming after this one, just with my thoughts of the tournament as a whole, my list, and all that stuff. So see you there. Bye.